So Divinity has a video out making all my points about how there's no dialogue, there's no arguments, a bunch of personal attacks. And you can get caught up in that because the stuff she says is like, you know, it takes a while to answer. So, but, you know, she digs up, like, old clips of stuff that's explainable but has nothing to do with the argument. And keep in mind that she's put out videos that I've responded to, 2 of them so far, and she doesn't say a word about those videos. So she doesn't want to keep the dialogue. Also, if I go to comment section, you know, she attacks me and insults me, and even if she makes the argument, she ends it with, you know, F you or whatever. There's not dialogue. Anyway, so she just did the same thing. She used this FeministWhore issue. Now, this morning, I got a video response in my box from FeministWhore, and I haven't looked at it. I approved it. It's called Relax, Boo-Boo, There Are Important Things Going On in This Drama. And I really like that title, so I'm hoping that it's, because that's how I feel, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe she's like, alright, okay, you yelled at me, let's move on. Because I think her video to me was terrible. Okay. Anyway, so Divinity starts out by, in her video, with these tactics like, in your very long video, I don't know, it's a video, Divinity, it's 8 minutes. I don't see why it's very long. But that's, you know, that's what people do to just like, oh, look at me, I'm winning. You know, I'm not into that. I'm just not into it. So let me tell you what's going on in Divinity's videos. I made a very long video. And then, it's like, it doesn't matter what I say in that 8 minutes. She'll take the last clip and make a big deal about it, because I was like, show your face, you know. First of all, in the last video I made, at the very end, when I was really mad, I said, show your face, FeministWhore. I think she has shown it before, so it's something that makes me laugh that I said that. It's not serious. Then she shows a little clip of herself, of the video I did ages ago, and I explained why, and I've talked different times about using people's images, and that I do take that seriously. So in that video that I made, I explained why I used that image the way I did. And then, even though it was in the video, Exiled commented, it was like, why did you do that? Because it was a still frame of her, she's looking angry, you know. And then I explained it in the comment section too. So, and she knows, I don't know, I think she knows this, right? She saw the video. So she's kind of playing that up again, knowing that I do take responsibility for the images that I put in my video. She's like, I don't know. Is that genuine on your part? They've not made any arguments yet, or shown any evidence that I'm disingenuous. There's no evidence of that. They just say it. Maybe if you say something enough, it just becomes true. I don't know. So then what Divinity does, and I don't even trust people like this. They're constantly going for the hypocrisy angle. Like it means anything. You know, a lot of times hypocrisy doesn't mean anything. I mean, unless there's an extreme example, like a homosexual man actually writing legislation to exterminate homosexuals. That would be like, wow, you know, hypocrisy. But a lot of times when people point out hypocrisy, it's really nothing. It doesn't mean anything. So she tries that. And I don't know why we're even worried about if somebody's a hypocrite. Because I'm not running for a political office, you know. So she makes this funny. I've already debunked this and talked about it, so I don't even know why people continue. It's like you can completely demolish her argument and she'll just have the same one the next day. It doesn't matter. Oh, you're a hypocrite. No, you haven't established that. So here's her thing. Man, it's already 5 minutes. Damn. Here's her thing. She's like, you looked at a naked picture, but you're anti-porn. I feel really sorry for you if you think that's pornography. And then our complaint is like, they don't really know our arguments. You know, the other side doesn't know our arguments. This is a demonstration of that. She's totally demonstrating it. And she's demonstrating that she engages in simply personal attacks. It's just drama. And it's, you don't know the position. If you think pornography is like just a naked picture of a guy, or, you know, regardless of who's in the picture or who took it or who the recipient is or whatever, just nudity, that's porn. Even if it was, my position is not that people would melt engaging in that. That's not my position. All my anti-porn positions have to do with the serious exploitation. It ties in with corporatism. It ties in, you know, well, I don't know. I don't feel that at this point I should need to make any anti-porn arguments in this video, right? Because you know them all, right? Look, either you're just trying to do this cheap tactic where you're trying to confuse people, thinking that's porn and there's some hypocrisy, and therefore what? And here's another thing about that angle. Therefore what? Do you know that I could be a porn addict and still make anti-porn arguments? Did you know that I could be in the porn business and still make anti-porn arguments? It depends on what I'm saying. You have to argue the argument. Like, for example, Monica Foster. She's in the adult industry trying to transition out, and she makes critiques of it. You can call her a hypocrite all day, but that's empty. It means nothing. She's making arguments that deserve attention, or they should be refuted directly without trying to go for the person all the time. I don't know. Divinity is really interested in the person. Like, you can't talk about statistics on prostitution because you looked at John's wiener. You know, what? Knock it off. You have nothing. Okay, and then she says, well, you don't correct people. Oh, by the way, I have not been raped. I should have opened the video with that. Not only have I not been raped, but I say that all the time. I have not been raped. Did she try to make the argument that people that have been raped somehow cannot talk about things? So she's rape shaming, you know? I'm not saying that to be clever or employ her tactics about all this, you're shaming and you're doing this and aren't you terrible. That's her business. She can do that. I'm not into that. But is it or is it not? You know, you can't make an argument because you've been raped. It's up to you to connect the dots there. I mean, and you have to be specific. You can't just say, well, I'm connecting the dots because I think they're related. You have to say, you have a perception of this because of this. I mean, be specific. But anyway, I have not been raped. And there's no reason that anybody should ever on YouTube think that I have been raped. I mean, you're into heavy prejudicial projecting. And you could say to yourself, well, I thought for sure that I saw something. No, you didn't. You're just plain imagining it, which is what you do, which is why I have a problem with you and some other people here. You're full of imagination and prejudice and projecting. And okay, so, but anyway, this thing about all people have been molested and I need to say something against that. Well, there's a couple things that I feel about that. One, when there are conversations about this, that is not constantly being said in all these comment sections. Also, my position on that is it's a weird angle to take about the girls being molested and raped. It's true that a lot of sex workers have been sexually abused, but you know what I say to that? Most women I know have been sexually abused. Do you know what I mean? If most women I know have been sexually abused, that kind of negates the argument, doesn't it? Because most women I know are not sex workers. It doesn't make them that. But the reason people bring up sexual molestation and things like that, there's different reasons that they bring it up. A lot of times somebody will try to make the argument somehow that being in the sex industry has something to do with healthy sexuality, and it doesn't. But anyway, I've already said many, many times over and over again about the word all. when people use the word all, it's just, you can immediately dismiss it. It doesn't even need defending. I think that I heard Shelley Levin saying, like, I haven't met a girl in this business that hasn't had past trauma, I can't argue with her statement that she's never run into it. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say to that. So I do say things about that. Those are my opinions. But I think the thing to stress the most here is that that is not on every video. It's not on, like, every video you go to. The way I think we should make it legal, because the legal fairies will eliminate all these problems. That is the comment being made on all the videos. And I have a question that I asked. I think somebody answered me, and I have to check on it. So forgive me, this video is made, and you'd be like, Teresa, I answered that question. Okay, sorry. Apologies in advance. But I'm asking the question, did you guys correct the peach? Because the peach is for Nevada Moms, for the Nevada Bravos. But people seem to rave about this compilation video. But, you know, Christina Zongich, she told me, okay, she told me personally, the compilation video gives the impression that we're all on the same page with that. But Zongich does not agree with the peaches, what the peach said. Okay, so she was telling me that. So I think that's really interesting. But there doesn't seem to be, I haven't seen the peach get criticized for that. And the reason I say the peach is she has a huge channel, and her video got huge, you know, responses and accolades. What I mean is positive acceptance, you know, like that. That's what I'm talking about. So from the peach all the way down to just Joe Blow, you know, these things, I don't see them answered. If they are answered, and I'm wrong and I'm not in those comment sections, that's a possibility too. I made a comment just saying that I don't see it. I was attacked over just my little comment on a little video about that. So it's not like I'm on some raging rampage against you guys. You guys are the aggressors here. You have not proven any disingenuous on my part. I mean, you just sit there and go, we see right through you. You're the most disingenuous out of all of them. This is because you can't handle an argument. And so you think somehow I'm being indirect when I just don't call you a name. No, I make arguments. I make videos on this topic. You can look at them. If you have an argument to answer, you can do that. There's nothing disingenuous going on. It's just you don't know how to handle me because you can't make arguments, which your video right here demonstrates. It's a personal attack. Okay, I have like 2 minutes left. I hope I don't forget anything. The Dynamite Ruby thing. Dynamite Ruby is not a victim, okay? And she's very aggressive, she's very mean, and she's very rude. Okay, now you may say, so is Nuke. That's, back at that time when I made that video, I was like, okay, you have Meanie Meanie Nuke, and you have Meanie Meanie Dynamite, which is Crypt Queen. Meanie Meanie Meanie. Okay, they're both mean. One of them just says, I'm really mean. The other one is like, I'm only mean because other people are picking on me. That was what my video was about. She's not a victim in any way. And this stuff about her being slut-shamed, it's like, I can explain what is going on there, you know. And I have only 10 seconds left. Why does it matter if Nuke and Diana are rude to you in comment sections? How does that equate to you being slut-shamed? You know, it's not enough for her to be as unglued as she is. What she's doing is, she's a bully just like anybody else, so that's why I made that video. It has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with anything. It's old, you know, and it makes no sense to the arguments. It makes no sense to the dialogue. It has to do with some drama that went on between Nuclear Knight and Dynamite Ruby, which I stand by, and you just take these little clips, you know. Do you have an argument to make that has nothing to do with just trying to figure out if I'm a good person or not? I mean, you fail.